welcome back to Fate's Hollow, Ataraxia. Last time, we did stuff. I don't think it was significant. I think we're sort of in there. I'm sort of feeling like I want to start pushing for some main story progression, but I also want to do some of these other ones, because I haven't talked to Issei in a while. I guess that's the main reason. To finish off the inspection of the heaters that seem particularly out of shape before winter hits, I come back to the student council room. Normally, Issei would accompany me, but today it seems he has some student council matters to attend to, so I've been managing on my own. Why is the student council in charge of the heaters? It seems like the school should be paying people to do that.
Issei,
I open the door, somewhat abruptly, and suddenly I see Issei with Mitsuzuri inside. Huh? Not only is this pairing quite rare, the way that their shoulders are getting closer, almost to the point of touching, is quite unusual too. A glimmer of hope briefly appears in my frozen mind. He sees those red clothes as a sign of evil, but this time, it's all right. I'm desperately grasping at straws.
いいシロ。人の恋路を邪魔するやつは馬に蹴られても死ねないのよ。当然、痛みは据え置きで。
The pain is what? Not because it be right. Because it's not because of the pain, but because you're not an asshole. That is harsh. It depends on the timing and situation, but after receiving a critical injury, I'd usually prefer to just be left alone to die quietly.
悪い、邪魔したな。
Obeying the divine revelation, I closed the door.
危なかった。いや、まさか一星と三綴がそんな関係だったとは。
Well, with those two, I'm sure it'll be fine, probably. The weight of the brick in my chest. The weight of a brick in my chest, I decide to go home.
待て、エミヤ。どこに行くつもりだ？
いや、頼まれたことも終わったし、帰ろうかと。
エミヤ、いいから戻んなさい。
でも邪魔じゃないのか。
うるさい。つべこべ言わないの。
え？
I get dragged back inside the student council room just like that.
なんだ、誤解だったのか。それならそうと言ってくれればよかったのに。
言う前にあんたが誤解したまま出てったんでしょうが。反省なさい、反省。
それ、俺のせいか。
I mean, I think the sane action there would have been, oh, sorry, am I interrupting something? She seems to be laughing, yet she isn't smiling at all. Despite the fact that they're just friends, she reminds me of Tosaka. Lately, I've started to know Sakura laughing in the exact same way. But she's probably just taking after her sister.
まさか、そのまま俺の周りが遠坂だらけになっていくのか。
何を真顔で末恐ろしいことをつぶやいている？
そうだな。俺もとんでもないマッセだと思う。で、二人とも結局何をしてたんだ？
And then, looking closer, I see a large number of documents spread out into the desk. Is this related to the, Oh, this is probably related to the field trip thing, right? Was this some kind of business meeting?
文化祭の打ち合わせをな。
ああ、なるほど。でもなんで三綴が一緒なんだ？弓道部の関係で何か問題でも出たのか？
そりゃ私が文化祭の実行委員だからじゃない。
そうだったか？
It's a collective sigh. Whoops.
ちなみに、その調子じゃ覚えてないかもしれないけど、エミヤも実行委員の一人よ。
Huh?
悪い。すっかり忘れてた。
Wait, what?
まあ、まだ活動が始まってないから構わん。
Cultural festival, is it? Huh. Even outsiders are welcome to participate, so both Saber and Ryder should get a chance to have some fun. Illy hasn't been to one either, though there could be trouble if I brought her along.
ともかく今はそういうわけだ。こっちの準備があるので備品修繕はエミヤに頼むだけ頼むが俺はついていけないのだ。
いいって適材適所だろ。それで今見てきたヒーターの調子だけど。
As I'm inspecting the heater, Mrs. Uri keeps staring at me.
なんだよ、三つ。
いやー、エミヤって最近普段に輪をかけてぼーっとしてるところがあるから準備が始まった時にも忘れてやしないかと思って。
What, the cultural festival stuff that I'm apparently a part of this committee? The stuff about the festival and the committee that we just talked about. Can't argue with that.
うん。愛わかった。三つ釣りの不安ももっともなことだろう。エミヤ、帰りに付き合え。そこで文化祭たるものを語って聞かせてやろう。
No thank you.
は？
ああ、そりゃいいわね。エミヤが二度と忘れないようにしてやってちょうだい。
うん。任されよ。
つまりそれは今日は一星と一緒に帰れってことか。
そうよ。バイトとかないんでしょ？
まああったら手伝いには来てないからな。
Excellent, Mrs. Uri nods in satisfaction. Well, I bet it'd be more of a lecture than a discussion. But I haven't walked home with Issei lately either, so I guess I don't mind.
で、リュウドはなんでそんなに嬉しそうなのよ。
Yeah, I noticed that too.
ん？そんなことはないぞ。いや、ないわけではないが、それも普段より迷惑をかけているエミヤのために役立てるとなればこそであって。
ああ、はいはい、わかったわ。それじゃあエミヤ、引き続き備品の修理に行ってくれる？体育倉庫に壊れたまま放置されてる空調機があるんだって。リュウドは私と体育連の出し物の続きね。弓道部まだ出し物が決まってないんだけど。
And so I guess I'm chewed out of the student council room. Ah, well. Can't back out now until Issei's finished equipment repair. It is.
エミヤ、待たせたな。
いや、俺もさっき終わったところだ。気にするな。
すまん、三つ釣りね。なぜか議題を引き延ばしよってからに。まったく、弓道部のケーキショップなど許可できるわけがなかろう。
Oh, is that what they're doing?
その分じゃ三つ釣りと大喧嘩か。弓道部何やるんだって？
ん？なんでもアルミホ違うな。なんとかいうファミリーレストランのパロディだそうだ。ケーキ専門というのはなかなかに面白いのだが、あいにく飲食系はリミットいっぱいでな。弓道部には悪いが、11日までに再提出ということになった。
I guess that makes sense. Probably would be excessive if you had just like everyone trying to sell a bunch of the same stuff at the same time. Ah, so that's how it is. It's tough for both the archery club and student council president.
お疲れ様。休日出勤とは縁の下の生徒会長様だな。いいっす。
何？お山は常に時間外労働だ。それに比べればさしたることはあるまい。
Not just at the temple. This is exactly the way he manages whatever undertaking he's responsible for.
どうするエミヤ？まっすぐに帰るか？
ああ。
Come to think about it, it's been a while since we went home from school together. Back in the first year, it's always been either Shinji or Issei. Shinji came along just for fun, and Issei went home on the same path as me.
いや、久しぶりにシントにでも行こうか、一星。実家で手伝わなきゃいけないことがあるんだったらいいんだけど。
そういうエミヤこそ養い口が多いだろう？構わないのか？
Ah, they can figure it out. There's more than one cooks. There's more than one cook in the house. Thus, worrying about each other's matters, the question remains unsettled. Issei looks at me with his usual disappointed expression.
こんな論議で時間を潰しても仕方あるまい。シントに行くぞ。
了解った。何するかね。
Okay, cool.
映画でも見ると時間食いすぎるな。
Nah, it's a date. Come on. Let's go to a movie and we can snuggle and
うん。猫歩くとタイガー道場劇場版か。評判を聞いたことがあるか、エミヤ。
no, but the first one sounds so weird that I'd probably pick that one.
聞いた話じゃどっちも支離滅裂だそうだ。
I guess the second, if they're both just complete nonsense, then the second one sounds more like it's like mindless nonsense.
なるほど。喜劇か。
見に行った人間そのものは悲劇らしいけどな。
What's up with that, anyways? A game center is a no-go for either of us as well. Something like a pool is definitely out of the question. Well, I am thinking, Issei comes up with an idea.
エミヤ、自分はお山の暮らしが長いゆえに少々甘味を欲していてだな。ベルデに行っても構わぬか。
Okay.
おお、本屋あったしな。そっちでも行くか。
And thus our destination has been decided. Oh, he looks like he's getting excited. In the past, we used to just wander around aimlessly, and that's fine. But living in a temple constantly deprived of sweets and meat has gotta be tough. Is it just because that's where he lives, or does he have a religious objection that, like, he's breaking to do this? That I don't know.
エミヤは参考書や過去問題集は買わないのか？
ああ、そんなのもあったな。
We chat while looking at the bookstore display. An honor student like Issei, he's gotta know a lot about this sort of stuff.
そういう一世こそおすすめはあるのか？
それなりにあるのだが、今までエミヤに参考書の類は一通り案内したと思うがな。
That's right, it's always either Fujine or Issei who keeps bugging me. Zaka sort of pays attention to my studies, but she mostly just keeps drilling me on the magic front.
まったく。他の同級生は予備校だ模試だと大変だろうに。その辺エミヤは太平楽を決め込みすぎていて不安だ。
Yeah, I'm basically definitely not going to college if I'm not even prepping for it.
一世ほどできれば。だって、そうか、お山に登るんだよな。
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, entirely devoting himself to ascetic practice at the Rito Temple after graduation. It's no wonder he seems so composed remaining at the president's post for the whole 3 years.
うん。主情の安堵に覆わんと、我が身のおほけなくも願い、黒染めに身を包んで、ソマヤにいおりを結ぶ所存だ。
That sounds like it would suck.
なんだそりゃ。ソマヤって、お寺はあんなに大きいのに。
That's a different temple, I presume?
何？第一にエミヤの所持成就を願うことにするからな。大船に乗ったと思うがいい。
Issei cackles. My future is still unclear, but I feel safe knowing my friend is praying for my success.
俺は、買うものないな。
あいにくと俺もな。それでは下に向かうとしよ
う。ああ、大判焼きとかソフトクリームとかあったな。
Is Verde just the mall name? I guess it must be. In the corner of the underground food court, there's some space to have a light meal. Issei sure seems to have taken a liking to it. I guess he likes the hidden away from the public eye feel to it.
エミヤ、お前の大判焼きの好みは何だ？
I'm not even really sure what it is, so
つぶあん。
that means even less to me.
うん。満点とはいかぬが合格だ。ここでチーズやカスタードといったら、エミヤに罰作を与えて共同せねばならぬところであった。
Well, sounds like he has plenty of preferences even for sweets. Offering a crepe from La Fleur sounds like a sure way to get Issei mad. Zaka would probably like something astringent like jam obenyaki.
よしよし。特別に俺からこしあんをおごってやろ
おう、兄貴で。
Should Issei really go into seclusion? I doubt I'll get another chance for a sweet wafer cake. We ended up packing the opaniyaki into a bag and eating it on the way back. Buying some extra as presents did not hurt the wallet much. Truly wonderful sweets for the masses. I still don't really know what they are.
そうだエミヤ、来週もいろいろ付き合ってもらうぞ。
今度はたい焼きとか？
うん、それも悪くはないのだがな。今回は文化祭が優先だ。実行委員としての心得、順々と解いてやらねばなるまい。ま、とりあえずは明日からだな。今日は大判焼きに免じて見逃すとしよう。
Crap. I forgot about it again. It's because Mrs. Zuri got mad at me that we're going home like this in the first place, right?
忘れっぽいな、ほんと。
Especially with the cultural festival related matters. How should I put it? It's as if I avoid thinking about it on purpose. Ooh.
でもまあ、思い出したからいいか。
Well, that flash at the beginning of the game, sort of a thing. Interesting. Why would you avoid thinking about it? It's some time off, right? And wasn't that like prior to the culture festival too? I feel like it was. Like it was like like it was related to it, but I thought it was still prior to it. Like it was like some prep thing. Maybe not. Was it? No, I don't think it. Still.
明日から心を入れ替えて尽力するよ、一世。
ああ、頼むぞ。文化祭となればエミヤに手伝ってもらうことは山のようにあるからな。
Saying that, Issei puts the 3 more opaniyaki into my bag.
これが報酬の前払いだと思ってくれ。
別に大判焼きで働いてるわけじゃないぞ。
You really should take them yourself. Come on. You don't get this very often, right? Enjoy it while you can.
まあまあ、記者を拒むのはよくはない。いつもエミヤには何かと苦労をかけているからな。
That's right, he nods in assent. Going through the trouble to help Issei has become pretty much natural for me. It's already a habit. Well, it certainly would be impolite of me to just refuse it.
なるほど。じゃあこれは賽銭代わりに受け取っておく。
エミヤ大明神様か。そうだ。賽銭と明神権現といえば、こういう話をエミヤは知ってるか。
Vaguely. Issei diverts the conversation. I guess he wants to show another piece of his knowledge. Of course, I know nothing of the sort, so I just nod.
昔な、この川には龍神がいてだな。古くは神を鎮める祭儀が行われていたんだ。
Neat. All it really takes is for people to believe in something existing. I wonder if something like that could be part of the servant stuff. Even if it's like what did they say about Avenger? Like he wasn't actually the thing that they believed exists. He was just like a real person from that time frame who sort of got sucked into it, right?
へえ、初耳。今の秋祭りの儀式でそんな龍神云々のあったっけ？
I knew that an autumn festival and a bird day take place at Ryudo Temple, but I've never heard about their origins. Growing up in the temple, Issei seems to be well versed on these subjects. Expecting more explanation, I nod once again.
いや、今の祭礼とは関係はない。竜道寺の僧が法力で荒ぶる龍神を3日未満の家事祈祷の末に釈伏したという話だ。抗争なき後に深山の民が秋になると龍神を鎮めた抗争の徳をしたって。
Oh, I have a feeling I've heard the story about the people of such power disappearing from the temple. I've heard that before. Another one of those complicated ancient legends passed down through generations. I don't understand the old folklore very well either.
どうした？つまらぬ話だったか、エミヤ。
いや、いろいろ興味深い。しかし、いるんだ。龍神がこの川に。
Gazing at the river, I feel no presence there. And besides, I suspect the modern-day river pollution would have taken its toll on the living conditions of the great dragon god as well. Oh my goodness, that's an interesting thought.
さて、もうすぐ着くな。あ、
It is an interesting...
やはりこしあんはいいものだ。
Okay, fantastic. It is an interesting thought at the very least, because myths like that are typically at least born out of either misunderstanding, like, you know, like sun gods and stuff like that. Attempts to explain things, typically. That's many of those sort of myths are born out of that. Things they couldn't understand at the time. So I wonder... A river dragon, though. What could that possibly have been? In a river? Honestly, not even an idea is coming to mind, but that is... The fact that no idea is coming to mind is very interesting, that it might actually be something supernatural in this world.
残りは霊感さんや久月先生のお土産にするのか？
I pick at the openyaki still in Issei's bag. I have some as well, but once you divide by the number of people, I have to split them amongst... Compare to that, Issei, sure.
買い食いなどをしたと父上に知られれば禁則者だ。仕方がない。エミヤ、手伝え。
ってここで食い切るのか？了解。お茶が欲しいところだな。
まったく。お山ではまんじゅうやお茶が怖い。
後で差し入れるってば、一斉。
That was nice. Issei, best girl. I think I still have the Tosaka thing here. Yeah, I think I'm at a point where I'm just gonna do all these fun... What did I... There's 3 before. I can't redo that other one? Huh. Well, whatever. I wanted to ask her for advice. Now I gotta talk about the current situation. Finally! Seeing as Tosaka came back right after hearing about the abnormality, I should ask her to take on things.
町がどうなっているかはざっと見て回ってきたわ。現状ではこれといって打つ手はなしね。で、エミヤ君は何を知ってるの？
More than you'd think, less than I'd be able to give you. As she went, as if she was prepared well in advance, Osaka cuts right to the chase. Well, that sure makes it easier for me. I do have one question first.
なあ、遠坂。アーチャーのやつはどうしてるんだ？遠坂が帰ってきたんだから、近くに待機してるのか？
アーチャーとは絶縁中よ。そもそもあいつと私、もうマスターとサーバントの関係じゃないもの。
Wait, what now?
どういうことだそれ？契約切ったのか？
What?
切ったというより切れたの。聖杯戦争が終わった時、契約は一度破棄されるのよ。サーバント側の意思でね。ライダーやセイバーは別に今のままでよかったんでしょうけど、あいつは何か思うところがあったんでしょ。前みたいに四六時中協力体制ってわけじゃなくて、必要な時にギブアンドテイクで手を貸してもらう状態なの。
So you're still technically master and servant in the same way like Saber and Emiya are? I guess, are you saying that? But, so are we by the servant? So the idea is that is not the impression I got from how he was behaving before, I suppose.
あいつが限界するための触媒にはなってあげてるけど、魔力提供はカットしてるわ。って、こんなのずっと前から知ってるじゃない。何よ、今になって聞き返すなんて。
Did I know that? That's right. That's the way things are at Tosaka and Archer right now. Even if it seems like a complete contradiction to even like what happened with Archer before. Or, like, significant contradiction at the very least. At least I guess it could match up, but it feels like they're at odds to some extent. While he isn't staying nearby, he'll help her when she needs it, under certain conditions. I don't know what Archer was thinking when he chose to establish that kind of relationship, but I guess it wouldn't have worked out any other way. Continuing as Tosaka servant is likely to produce some sort of definite contradiction.
エミヤくん、どうしたの？なんか怖い顔して。
Definite contradiction. I assume that has something to do with, like, there can't... Is it just saying there can't be another? Huh. I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
アーチャーが苦手なのはわかるけど、話をするだけでも嫌だったっけ？
いや、ただの立ちくらみだ。余計な話をさせて悪かった。本題に入ろう。
Honestly, I think that's way more important than... I think it's trying to pull me away from thinking about it. Huh.
遠坂、街を回ってみてどうだった？違和感とか何かおかしなところとかあったか？
それがはっきりしないっていうか、確かにおかしいとは思うんだけど、別におかしくはないのよね。我ながら抽象的な例えで申し訳ないんだけど、おかしいって感じてる時点で何がおかしいのか気づかない仕組みになってるっていうか。
The moment we become aware of the abnormality, it changes into something normal. Is that it? So this is going to be entirely like Schrodinger's cat. All these different realities exist until there's a contradiction to be observed. In other words, what looks to be normal really isn't. So then, if I were to assume that abnormal events that never took place in the original Fuyuki were the norm...
何か知ってそうね、ヘミヤ君。私がいない間に何があったの？
何もなかった。何もなかったけど。
Where did I acquire this extra knowledge?
少し聞いてほしいことがある。俺自身、どうしてこんなことを口にするかわからないんだが。
After collecting myself as much as I can, I start explaining. The fight with Archer that hasn't happened yet. Saber's defeat at the hands of a master I've never seen. A story of Fuyuki City drawing to a close with the end of each fourth day. Ooh, so I'm remembering enough to explain.
確認するけど、エミヤ君はその出来事を知っているだけなのね。実際に見たわけでもなくて、その4日目を体験してもいない。
ああ、ただ知ってるだけだ。夢で見たとか、どこかで聞いたとかいうのもない。
けれど知っている。この街で起きることならなんとなく把握できる。けど今のエミヤ君はまだ知らないから思い出せない。その時点でやり直してるってわけじゃないわよね。そんな状態なのはエミヤ君だけで、私やさくらは普通なんだから、冬騎士ぐるみっていうのもなし。
Interesting. There's always the... I suppose our... Okay, so no one else is experiencing this in any capacity? The implication there, at the very least, would be that there's something happening with the same thing that's happening to Avenger and Bazette. And that's... No, it can't be, right? Because he'd remember when he woke up if it was the same thing, right?
今の4日間だけ冬騎士がそういう状態で、エミヤ君だけ隣が見えてる。
All I told her was the end of the 4 days that I somehow know about. The story of Emir Shiro, who cannot move beyond the 4 days. As if realizing something from just that, Tosaka's muttering to herself. What exactly did she say? Is it that Fuyuki is only in that state for these 4 days, and you're the only one who can see the ones beside you? What would make Emiya special in this case? think Avenger implied that the time warping stuff was connected to his abilities in some capacity, even if it wasn't his noble phantasm.
そっか、再会してるんじゃない、再現してるんだ。それならサーバントが全員揃っているのも説明がつく。そうなるとみんな嘘なんじゃなくて、嘘つきは一人だけになるのか。
Yeah, you're speaking in vague terms still. Hey, didn't you say just before that you were also getting that sort of like contrivance where everything seems to collapse into something that is quote normal and end quote? Didn't you say you were also getting that? Even if you don't remember the stuff. Tosaka's stare is becoming sharper. Whatever she's thinking about, it can't be good.
トサカ、何か分かったのか？
そうね、今のエミヤくんの話を一応歩ほど譲って、仮にそういう話があると想定した上でなら、それなりに仕組みは分かったわ。
Fantastic. Out with it. So very reliable. The fact that she wouldn't believe it does hurt me a little, though.
いい？今から話すことはあくまでエミヤくんのヨタ話を考察しただけの話だから。
Okay.
町の異常には全くこれっぽっちも頭くるほどに関係ないって理解した上で聞いてちょうだい。
Why are you so... Whatever.
分かった。机上の空論ってことだな。
それ以前エミヤくんの言うデタラメな状況に説明をつけるとしたらっていう辻褄合わせよ。まあいいわ。メガネっと。
Nozaka's sensei retrieves a pair of glasses from her bag. It's been a while since I've seen her go into all-knowing Tosaka mode.
さて、エミヤくんの話からすると、この4日間、10月8日から11日までの間が異常なのは明らかです。
Yeah, I got that.
セイバーやライダーは聖杯戦争が再開されたと言っているけど、それだと不都合が生じてしまう。わかるでしょ？戦いが再開されたのなら誰かが欠けていなきゃいけないはずよ。
Someone has to be... What? That's right. If this were really a restart, then the participants who dropped out half a year ago shouldn't be here now. Oh, so you're saying it's a continuation? Wait, no, but Gilgamesh was able to stick around, and I guess he wasn't... I guess it would require more servants for it to start again, or... Oh, no, are you just saying that because the fact that it ended before, they all shouldn't be around at the moment, basically?
おかしいのにおかしくないのはそこ。きっとこの状態、この4日間だけは本来いてはいけない人物がいたとしても、それが誰なのか特定できない状況にあるんだと思う。
Okay, yeah, that's it. So I was going in a different direction in my mind.
だから全員が揃っていても何一つおかしくない。いいえ、全員が揃っていないとおかしいの。だってこれは誰かが以前起きた聖杯戦争を再現している結果なんだから。
誰かが聖杯戦争を再現してるって。いや、それは初めから分かってたっていうか。
Well, it restarting, we never came to a conclusion that someone was doing something about it.
聖杯を欲しがってるやつがまた聖杯戦争を始めようとしたんだろう。
それは再開。私が言っているのは再現。いい？仮に再開したいのなら、すでに欠けているサーバントなんていない方がいいでしょ？なのに町には全てのサーバントが揃っている。だからなんで私もこんな結論に飛んだのか頭くるんだけど、そいつは聖杯戦争を再現したいだけなの。戦いたいだけなの。永遠に続けたいだけなの。
I mean, yes and no. What if the fact that there isn't a holy grail anymore is the bigger kicker? and the ability to put us in a situation that would also bring back the servants, aka everything existing, would mean that the Holy Grail still being around is also a thing in some extent, in some capacity at this point. Like I said about Bazette in them, it sort of seemed like it was a situation where it might be basically a different timeline where it happened to happen later with different participants, with different setups and just different variances that happen to be happening during this time frame, or something like that.
そのためにこの4日間だけは起こりうる全ての可能性を内包しているのよ。何度やっても楽しめるように、できる限り新鮮味を失わないようにってね。
Keep it enjoyable? You're speaking a lot on specific motivations. Is that why... Come, let's continue the Holy Grail War. Those words were spoken. Avenger said that, right? Are you implying that Avenger's doing it purposely? Oh, okay, so... okay, fine. So are we saying that it's Avenger's will to keep it going? We did have that a bit before, right?
けど待ってくれ。それじゃあ4日過ぎれば街は元通りになるってことだよな。これじゃあ俺だけ1日目に戻ってるみたいじゃないか。
戻っているならちゃんと確かな記憶として覚えてるでしょ。エミヤくんはね、きっと自分を見ちゃってるのよ。図にするとこんな感じかな。平行世界ってわけじゃないからね。この4日間ではあらゆる可能性は10日だから、エミヤシローっていう奏者が合わせ鏡みたいに無限にいると仮定して、全く同じコースをそれぞれ違ったタイムで走ってるってわかる？
Okay, under the assumption that there actually would be the possibility of... Okay, wait, no, that doesn't explain a couple things. One, that doesn't explain how he'd be seeing the different variations or retaining that memory in any capacity. It doesn't explain why other people aren't doing the exact same thing. And 3, it doesn't explain why he'd be getting Bazette's stuff.
あっちでテレビゲームをやったんだけど、あれと同じよ。
Yeah, they're pretty good.
シューティングゲームっていうの？
Oh, never mind.
時期が3期いて、やられたら初めからやり直すやつ。あれって時期視点から見ると連続してないけど、プレイヤー視点から見れば連続しているじゃない。それと同じよ。時期がいる限り死んでも初めからやり直せる。全く同じ性能の全く新しい時期が全く同じ面を攻略するでしょ。今のエミヤくんはまさにそれってわけ。
That's way too meta to be a satisfying explanation, I gotta be honest. Tosaka's metaphor is awfully impolite, but I get what she's trying to say. Yeah, metaphor's just metaphor. I want to know how it's actually working. Like, I don't really care too much about the mechanics. I'm curious about the how the mechanics are actually manifesting in that capacity. I guess by seeing the ones beside me, things she was muttering. She actually meant seeing player B that went ahead of me. It's the conclusion of a different playthrough that I know about. I haven't experienced it myself yet, but I can go, oh, player A got beaten by a boss here, so I guess that's how you put it.
いろいろ納得いかないんだが、辻褄合わせだから納得するとして、じゃあ俺このままおとなしくしてれば4日目を超えられるってことか。
超えられなかったエミヤシロウはいないと思うけど、たとえ死体であっても5日目は来るんだから。私もさくらもエミヤくんみたいな夢は見てないから、街そのものが繰り返していないのは明白よ。でももしかしてエミヤくんだけ特別で、この聖杯戦争をどうにかしないと絶対に4日目で死んじゃうのかもね。
This might be what you call an ill omen. My situation went from bad to downright scary.
俺が変なことを知ってる理屈は分かったよ。けどさ、どうやって聖杯戦争の再現なんて起こしてるんだ？聖杯を欲しがっている何者かってやつはそんな魔法みたいなことができるのか？
It doesn't... None of that explained the stuff I was really curious about. It's all basically stuff I sort of figured already.
そもそもこんなことができるなら聖杯なんかに頼らず望みを叶えられるだろうに。
I guess it's like, it could be a good... Wait... Interesting? That's actually... That's an interesting thought, actually. What if you got the Holy Grail, and because you enjoy the time so much, you wish it could go on forever, and what it did... Ooh. That's sort of a bootstrap paradox, if it went on like that. You have infinite possibilities, which results in eventually there being something where they win the Grail. And you get the wish of it going on forever, causing the infinite variations, which cause it to win and so forth and etc. Oh, sorry, that's just a thought as to why maybe that could be happening with Avenger. Because he said, like he said, it wasn't one of his powers. I'm trying to remember exactly, because it's been a while since I was actually at that point, how exactly he phrased it, but I thought it wasn't one of his powers, but that could explain it and all the same. But yeah, for Emiya's stuff, that's still... I guess it does confirm that he's just getting the memories from other variants, however that happens. In some way that is specific to him, isn't to others. And to note, she did specifically say that it's not a restart, right? The metaphor she used wasn't that Emiya restarted, but rather it was like the perspective he was seeing from could treat the other runs of his playthrough as something that he would be aware of to some extent, right? Not that he was actually physically going back, it was just all different potential ways that his journey could go and end, right?
もう言ったでしょ。そいつの目的はもう叶ってるんだって。そいつは聖杯が欲しくて聖杯戦争を再現しているんじゃない。殺し合いがしたいから聖杯戦争を再現している。それはつまり。
I see. It's the other way around.
それが願いなんだ。
Oh, cool. I mean, we were right there, I guess. But I sort of got that right before, I suppose.
そいつはすでに聖杯を手に入れていて、聖杯戦争を再現するっていう願いを叶えたとしたら。
そういうこと。これが誰かの望みだとしたら、聖杯の持ち主を倒さないと解除できないんでしょうね。
Wait, why would that... No, wait, no. What did that mean? Okay, so... maybe I'm making an assumption on the bootstrap paradox part, but... if the bootstrap paradox concept is indeed... Okay, if anyone's not aware of bootstrap paradox, it's basically a paradox that it has wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. You don't know where the actual starting point is because one thing causes the other thing, which causes the first thing, which causes the second thing again, which causes the first thing, etc., etc., etc. So there's no defined starting point. But if it's... part of that is creating infinite parallel possibilities that eventually become real, I suppose one way to get out of it would be collapsing it into a reality that wouldn't have that, maybe? And ultimately resolve the paradox by making it so that all those other realities except that one didn't happen, meaning the one where they win couldn't have happened? And... wibbly wobbly timey wimey really gets up in the head, doesn't it?
ま、怪しい奴がいるとすれば、それは前回の聖杯戦争にいなかった人物よ。
Why are we thinking of her specifically? Huh. They have explicitly said he multiple times for how they've been referencing the person who wants to continue it. So that's a pretty simple conclusion. Anyone that has recently popped up on the scene is under suspicion. And I know Japanese tends to have a lot less pronoun-type grammar and whatnot, so it might not be intentional at the very least to have that pop up as a he in some of those previous ones.
私は帰ってくるまでいなかったけど、元からこの町にいてもいい人間だから除外して。半年前にいなかった奴がいたら、そいつがこの騒ぎの元凶よ。
I feel like Tosaka is just the writer talking to me at this point. This doesn't feel like something she figured out.
なあ、登坂。俺、その怪しいやつって知ってるっぽいんだけど、出会った時はいつも死んでるみたいなんだ。なんか解決策ないかな。
常識外れの質問もそろそろ疲れてきたわ。出会っても殺されるってことは、その出会い方自体が間違ってるんじゃない？いい？一番正しい出会い。一番最初に出会った場面を知っているなら、自分の手でその状況を再現なさい。エミヤ君にはそれができるんだから。
What a fake, she keeps mumbling. Guess she doesn't believe any of it after all. I don't know. It felt like the writer just possessed Hisaka, and then suddenly she just doesn't believe it, despite her going into this deep theory that completely seems to add up, and she has no reason to think Emiya would be delusional about this sort of thing. Well, what do you know? There actually is another place I can meet that girl at. That time, if I remember right. Wait, what? So what, do I need to properly get us to a place of doing the field trip and then meet her? Tosaka and the track and field and archery clubs were all at the Ryudo Temple when I saw her.
参考になった。とりあえず当面の目的がはっきりしたよ。
お役に立てて光栄よ。で、どうするの、エミヤ君？その聖杯の持ち主を探してみる？
まあ、できる範囲で。とりあえず害はないんだし、4日目を過ぎたら元に戻るんだろ？無理しないで適当にやれよ。
I wonder... Wasn't there a point when Emiya got pulled into the Grail? Like in one of the endings for Fate's Day Night. Like one of the bad endings. Like Gilgamesh pulled him in. There was that whole thing about one of an Avenger. I think someone said that there were multiple Avenger. Potential Avengers at the very least. One of the Avengers, I'll remind you, I think specifically, got pulled into the Grail, an earlier one, right? And it corrupted it? I wonder if that's connected. Sorry to bother you, I get up from my seat. This has become a much longer conversation than I expected. I'm fine.
まったく。私たちはそんな夢とか見てないから断言できないんだけど、今のは一応あなたの話を真剣に考えてあげた場合の答えよ。本音を言えば、そんな寝ぼけた妄想を浮かべる暇があるならプールにでも誘うって感じだけど。あんまり都合よく使ってるとこっちにも考えがあるわよ。
She proceeds to give me a frightening bit of info with an equally frightening smile. Pull the pull, huh? Okay. I'll repay this favor in a non-material way soon enough, so please do wait for it. Just don't expect too much.
世話になった。また明日な、登坂。
Oh boy. So you want to go to the pool, eh? I leave the guest room behind. She does not answer right away. Instead, she sighs secretly and...
ねえ。みんな揃ってるのっていいわね。
Maybe she does believe it. She just doesn't. She just realizes the implications of ending it. Her faint smile is a mere image of my own mood, too. Okay. Well, I think I get it at the very least. So do I have an option for Saber, Sakura, Tosaka? Okay, so I can't take you to the pool? Liar! Liar! So yeah, now I'm just jumping around to see if I can find anything main story related. There seems to be a lot on the 4th day that I haven't done that's opened up. So let's do some of these, because it's been a while.
Oh, こんなものいつ持ち込んだんだ。
Ow! I bit my tongue. Fuck, why are you surprised? Is that Ilias? What the fuck? It's been an hour since we started cleaning up the storehouse, and we have a fucking tank! The junkyard-like atmosphere makes me a little dizzy, even more than I expected.
シロ、この鉄板はどこに運べばよいのでしょうか。
What the heck? The table-sized iron griddle that for some reason has been lying dormant deep in the bowels of the storehouse. I wonder how many things are here solely because of the infinite possibility stuff going on.
見覚えがなさすぎる。いや、とりあえず外に出しておいてくれ。
わかりました。
For now, the two of us are just throwing the scattered stuff outside. A pile of completely unrelated junk in front of her, Saber accompanies me without a hint of amazement.
しかし、こう改めて見ると。
There's probably enough junk to fill a light truck here. And this is just the stuff from the first floor. How much is packed in there altogether? I'm afraid to even guess.
シロ、この鉄板は何に使うのでしょうか。
さっきのやつか。ってたい焼き用の鉄板じゃんか。なんでこんなものがあるんだ。
Furthermore, this is even meant for domestic use. It's one with a big hinge. Not unlike the type you might see in a food cart. Besides that, we also have what looks like a plate for making takoyaki, a cotton candy machine, and a Christmas tree-like something with skates.
土蔵の中でお祭りができるな。
これはすべてシロが持ち込んだものなのですか。
半分はそうだけど、あとの半分は俺も初めて見た。
Where did it come from then?
まあ、ガラクタであることはどっちも同じなんだけど。
Just the stuff that the storehouse was used to store before? Although the things I put away are the stuff you could use once fixed type, it's never been the stuff that was brought from God knows where type.
シロの預かり知るところではないと。では、この法則性がないようで強力な共通点がある品物はどこから。
Presumably one big event that I assumed Ritsuku must have been involved in at some point. There's only one name I can reply with. Even Saber should have realized it by now. But pretending to be stumped myself, I keep silent.
うわ、懐かしいわね。どうしたのシロ、こんな風に広げて。お祭りの準備でもしてるのかしら。
Right. I forgot about her existence. Honestly, sorry, Fujine. I do forget about your existence way too commonly. Because, I don't have a good reason. So, the culprit chose a good time to make an appearance. Like a criminal returning to the scene of the crime.
準備じゃなくて片付けをしてたんだ。どこかの誰かが持ってきたガラクタをどうにかしようと思ってさ。
ガラクタとは失礼ね。シロのために持ってきたものがほとんどなのに。
So I can, like, put on a festival?
ということは、ここにあるものはシロが欲しがったものなのですか。そうよ。そこの鉄板なんてショーウィンドウにべったり張り付いて何時間も見つめてたんだから。それをいつまでも覚えていたお姉ちゃんはたまたま家で見つけたってこともあり、何年か越しにシロにプレゼントしてあげたのでした。
What?
なんと
What?
素晴らしい。タイガは弟思いの見本ですね。
No, not if you're thinking of something from years ago for one. This was a present? Did you give it to Did you give it to him with like him knowing that it was given to him? Oh my
一緒で
goodness.
しょ。なのにシロったらろくに使いもしないで、なんでか土蔵に放り込んで忘れちゃうのよね。
待て藤兄、あとセイバー、今の話どっかおかしいと思わないのか？
何よ、いい話じゃないのよ。
あのな、そりゃ一度は欲しがったけど何年前の話だよ。子供の頃に屋台に張り付いてただけで、今欲しいって言ったら新しいフライパンぐらいだ。それにだな、例えば
I pointed the taiyaki griddle.
あんな鉄板あったところでどうやって使えって言うんだ。
何言ってるのシロ。たい焼きを焼く鉄板なんだからたい焼きを作ればいいだけの話でしょ。
なんとこれがあれば家でたい焼きが作れるのですか？
I mean, I don't really have a good understanding of what it is, so sorry, Saber. Terribly sorry to crush your dreams and expectations, but being oriented for commercial use, it's not much of a help in a regular home.
ダメなんだセイバー、その鉄板じゃたい焼きは作れない。というか藤ね、どうやってこれで焼く気なんだ？
どうってシロはたい焼きの作り方も知らないの？
違う、火力が足りないんだよ。こんな畳の半分くらいの大きさの鉄板にどうやって火を通せってんだ、バカトラ。
そんなこと言ったってシロが欲しいって言うから。
言ってないし、なんでそういうことだけいつまでも覚えてるんだ藤ね。まあ気持ちは嬉しいけど、こんなのどこから持ってきたんだよ。
うちにお祭りの後に置いてあったのよ。
ああ。
It must have been used at a food cart during the festival, then left with the family. Some young guy in the Fujimura group would probably get scolded by the old man Ragged for not looking after the inventory. Unfortunately. I bet the rest followed a similar sequence of events. I'll get them to take it all back when the opportunity arises.
シロ、
Having found something in the mountain of junk, Saber suddenly stops.
セイバー、何か見つけたか？
Maybe some dangerous magic-related item got mixed in there. I rush over to her side.
これは一体何なのでしょうか？
It looks like a penguin thing. It also looks like it has a distinct indent there, so it looks hard, not like it's not soft or like a hat or something. Oh, it has a... In her hand, she holds a shaved ice machine. Oh my goodness. This time, it's not a commercial, meant for festival use type, but a regular penguin-shaped one. Deeply impressed by something, she keeps looking at it in the eyes, motionless.
それはかき氷を作る道具だよ。
かき氷。こんなに愛らしいのに氷菓子を作ることができるのですか？
Oh, you are so new to the world. The fact that this cute little thing could actually be used for something seems to be a shock for her. The hands holding the penguin start trembling.
よし、片付けが終わったら作ってみようか。
We've worked up quite a bit of a sweat. After a day of hard work, a reward like that would really hit the spot. Sadly, we don't have any syrup. Instead, I'll whip up something with matcha powder and sugar and cool it down in the fridge. Regarding the festival food cart drama, once we finish with the cleaning, I give the Fujimura group a call.
いや、ここにありやしたか。
How long ago was it that you got this? Like years ago? It was like moved over. The family members that showed up after a few words of exasperation ended up retrieving Fujine as well.
おじいちゃんになしつけてすぐ戻るからね。私の分も取っておくのよ。けどあんまりにも遅かったら気を利かせて助けに来てくれると嬉しいな。
She knows she's gonna lose. And like that. Sounds like she's not coming back for a while.
シロ、これはどのように使うのでしょう？
There's no hiding the fact that the sparkling clean shaved ice machine on top of the table is now the subject of Saber's undivided attention.
ちょっと待って。
I put a plate inside its belly. As I open its head and load the ice, I notice Saber cringing slightly.
そこが開くのはその愛らしくない。
Like at the head, like you open up its brains and you put the ice inside. Yeah, I think you might. Yeah.
そうだな。こういうところだけ機能的すぎるよな。
With a bitter smile, I take the handle mounted on top of the head and spin it a few times. As I do so, little pieces of cut ice start to accumulate on the plate in its belly. No matter how hard Saber is trying to feign disinterest, she looks about to burst with curiosity. Yes, curiosity, that's it specifically.
シロ、この機械に別の形はないのですか？その獅子やヒョウのような。
Quite possible, and I'm sure there's many other lion and panther related stuff like that too. Crap. Despite having seen Saber like this many times before, the sheer imbalance still makes the corners of my mouth jerk up involuntarily.
シロ、なぜ顔を背けるのですか？それに手を止めると氷が溶けてしまう。早く削ってしまうべきです。
と、すまん。そうだな。俺は知らないけど、もしかしたらライオン型のもあるかもな。
Man, if only you had the internet to look this stuff up.
それは本当でしょうか？
Maybe. Probably.
いや、見たことはないけど、あってもおかしくないなって話。
I keep working the handle. And as soon as there's about a cup full, I take out the plate, put some matcha syrup on top, and hand it over to Saber. Delighted, she takes a spoon, and then suddenly stops looking at me.
シロは食べないのですか？
俺はこれで十分。
I show her my cup of tea that had been brewing at the same time.
そうですか。では、遠慮なくいただきます。
Scooping up a bit with the spoon, she brings it to her mouth. She looks quite calm on the outside, but I bet she was really looking forward to it. They do a good job of making her very charming, cute, that sort of stuff. Having eaten a mouthful, she nods approvingly, looks at the penguin, then me, and keeps going.
セイバー、昔はこういうのなかったのか？
そうですね。確かに嗜好品として存在しているのは知っていました。ですが、今のように氷室が発達しているわけではありませんでしたので。
Yeah, ice is probably was like a massive commodity back in the day. I don't even think keeping food cold probably was like a common practice until well after her time, right? It would have been, at best, like preservative, like salt and pepper and spices and stuff like that, right? That was a luxury reserved for a select few. She concludes, returning to her shaved ice. Wasn't she one of the select few?
ああ、セイバー、確かにかき氷は溶けやすいけど、そんなに慌てて食べると。
Uh-oh. Looks like my warning came a little late. She has already stopped, her face turning a different color.
頭が痛くなるから注意しろって。遅かったな。
She nods. As her eyes start to tear up a bit, I pass her my teacup. She takes what I thought was a fairly hot tea down in one gulp.
何ですか、シロ。私が氷で頭を痛める様子がそんなにおかしいのですか？
She is definitely keeping composed, all things considered.
ね。いや、おかしいというよりは、ほら、なんだ。まあいいから、そんなこと言ってると溶けるぞ。
そうですか。
Unconvinced, the ice is still in her mind, literally, and she soon goes back to enjoying it.
シントに行けば見つかるかな。
シロ、どうしたのです？考え事ですか？
The lion ice maker? Or a lion anything. I don't even think she would care about it being an ice making or shaved ice machine.
やはりシロもかき氷を食べたくなったのですね。
ああ、けどそれはまた今度な。次はちゃんとシロップを買ってきてなんとか。
She tilts her head in confusion. If there will be a next time, somehow, I get a job at a storehouse in Shinto or something, and find that line-shaped shaved ice machine, no matter how rare it may be. Until then, I'll postpone eating shaved ice with a Saber. Oh, that was cute. Oh no, Tozaka's in my room. That's a scary thought. That's a scary thought. Okay, well, yeah, I'm sort of, very interested in doing more main story continuation because I feel like there's gaps in the explanation they gave, like very clear ones, and I hope they explain it. Mind you, just with my experience in this series so far, I wouldn't say I'm one to expect them to explain anything to a satisfying degree. I don't really remember Fate's Day Night itself. It was more about the emotional, dramatic impact than it was giving satisfying explanations for everything. Everything tended to be very much in the sort of fanciful, and generally, I believe it's been a while, but from what I remember, what people told me at the time was that it typically also is stuff that you come to understand much better once you go through all the different, like, million different Fate things that over time create a cumulative understanding of a rule set, I believe. I believe people told me that previously. So I'm not really so much expecting everything to be explained in the most satisfying way, but that doesn't make me not curious. Here's hoping. Here's hoping. So, I'll see y'all next time. Drive safely, everyone.